out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, 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 boom. I appreciate the support. Boom, duck them hooks, baby. We out here, man. 33 years of prison stories, man. We keeping it rolling. We keeping it rolling. Big love to everybody out there that support me. Everybody that's been rocking with me, man. Everybody that's been supporting this movement, man. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. To the people that keep asking me in the comments about the new P.O. box, is listed in my about. You know, go down there and stroll down. That's a different P.O. box. I put new on there so y'all know that's a new P.O. box, man. And to the person who keep coming up in these comments acting like you me, man, and giving these people this phone number to call, I'll tell y'all once again, do not fall for the flim-flammery. That is not me. I don't know who it is. I wish I did, but I don't. But no, I'm never going to tell y'all to send me nothing. I'm never going to tell y'all to call a number, nothing like that. If I got anything like that to say, you will see it coming out of my mouth. I'll make a video, say it myself. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm a little congested. I've been around them grandkids. I don't know, one of them had a cold. I know my little grandson was just getting over one, but I don't know. I feel a little stopped up, but we out here, man. The show must go on. But today, man, I wanted to tell y'all about this guy, man. He crossed my mind just thinking back. And I was thinking about something else. But what I was thinking about, he was in the equation. So it just made me think about him. So I just wanted to give y'all a little bit about him. Great big dude, man. Great big light-skinned dude, man, named Eyes, man. They called him Eyes because he had green eyes. And he was a real big dude, man. I'm talking about 6'5", about 260, you know, big dude, you know, and to the best of my knowledge, he was, you know, locked up for hustling, you know, he was old, you know, D-boy, drug boy out there. So being the size that he is and coming into prison, you know, young and still, you know, green, excuse me, young and still green and don't know nothing about the penitentiary, even though you that big, you know, prison is a different word. It don't scare nobody. You got to, you know, you got to put that to use. You got to do something. You got to, you know what I'm saying? So when I first met him, you could see it in him. He didn't have that you know, that aggression to like give people the impression that he dangerous. Just because he big don't mean he dangerous. You got to make it be known that you dangerous. And he didn't have that in him. I was in the block with him, so I was actually like about 2 or 3 cells from him. But being that he coming from the streets and he was a drug boy, he was flashy. He had a little money, you know what I'm saying? And then he had a little hustle about himself. So that alone is going to attract people to you because as we all know, or we should know by now, TBP, you know, drugs in the penitentiary is a commodity. So dudes want them drugs. So if you could get them drugs, you know, dudes gonna be drawn to you anyway because there's a lot of dudes in there that want to get high. So he could provide that, you know what I'm saying? He had an avenue, you know what I'm saying? He was shaking and baking. You know, even though he knew in the penitentiary, he knew how to get money on the street. So he just took them skills and transferred it to prison. But by him not having that heart like that, because on the street, man, you could be super dangerous, you know what I'm saying? Because you could be in the drug game, you could be in the gang, you could be super dangerous on the street, no matter your size or whatever, because of the simple fact that, you know, they got guns on the street. You know, they got, you know, people that's gonna back your hand on the street because you the man, because you selling drugs or you in the gang, your gang members gonna help. You all by yourself in the penitentiary. And it ain't no guns in the penitentiary. So either you gonna have some heart or you not. And dudes is gonna be able to sense that. They're gonna be able to smell it, man. They're gonna be able to know it, and they're gonna be aggressive, man. Especially if you getting drugs, they gonna want it. And then on top of that, like I said, he was flashy. He had jewelry, man. He had a couple of necklaces, a couple of rings, and all of this. You know, this was before they stopped all of that and was, you know, all extra about you having certain things. And they did that probably because so many dudes was getting robbed, so many dudes was, getting their jewelry took, so many dudes was getting, taken advantage of because of what they had. So they kind of like, taper down on that. You can only buy jewelry that if you ordered it from prison, like a sterling silver, cross or pendant. It was just crazy. Or you could keep your wedding band and things like that of that nature. But at one point in time, man, dudes was walking around in the penitentiary, man, with some serious jewelry on, man. I mean, some serious jewelry. So, he had that, you know what I'm saying? He had the jewelry, he had the, the flash, he had the size, he could get the pack in. So, dudes was, gravitating to him, man. But you could see the timidness in him. You could see the shakiness, the fear. And then once the wolves got wind of that, then they started being super aggressive. When he started getting his sack in and getting the drugs, dudes was getting it. You get it on tick in there, where they say tick is on credit. You say, man, look, man, let me get this, man. I got you on store day. Man, let me get that. I send the money out. All of these type of things dudes do in prison because, ironically and crazy as it is, prison is based upon a loyalty system and an honesty system. Your word is your bond. And if you break your word, the dude's supposed to break you. So therefore, dudes know in prison that if you put your name on something, then you're going to have to stand for that or you're going to fall for it. It's simple as that. So dude have no problem with giving you something until a later date, giving you something with the date you told him, giving you something for you can send some money on the street. They anticipate you doing that. If you don't do that, like I said, it's supposed to be repercussions, and so dudes was getting stuff from him, and then dudes started not paying him, started coming up with excuses, and he was listening and bartering and negotiating like, all right, don't want to take care of this then, or all right, man, but then John Lake, he was pulling up on yous and asking about his money, like, man, you supposed to have that last week, what's going on, my people ain't get that money, you like, man, like, look, man, the Joan supposed to be coming, man, but she ain't get her check, and all of this flammery and skullduggery that dudes would tell you just because they not trying to pay you, but they trying to get high. So he was doing too much bartering and negotiating with that. You know what I'm saying? And he won't busting no heads. He won't shed no blood. He won't pushing that Bethlehem. So now, boom, 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 the word is out, and then more wolves coming. Now they won't, man, let me get, man, no, ain't no, man, what you mean? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? And he was just going for it. And next thing you know, he just being straight drug. You know what I'm saying? Now you got dudes that's plotting to rob him. They want to rob him. You know what I'm saying? They want to take his jewelry. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the dudes that want him to keep getting the drugs, so they like trying to hold off the wolves that want to take his jewelry because they don't want to run him away. They don't want him to move to another block. They don't want him to move to the other side of the yard. They don't want him to check in. They don't want none of that because they still want to be able to get high. So now you got the dudes that want to get high, beefing with the dudes, there's the jack boys who want to just get a quick come up. So now they beefing, and all of them is just beefing over him. He's the main topic. He's the the talk of the day. You know what I'm saying? So all of this is, like I said, is putting a tag on his reputation, man, that he's soft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big old, he's soft though. And then, like I say, he was big, but it won't solid, it won't muscle. He was just like, like a big country boy. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He ain't had no oomph with it or nothing, and he didn't have that bark with him. He ain't had that look. He got green eyes, but he ain't got that look like, yeah, I ain't to be played. He ain't got that. So dudes sensed that, man, and they was on his top, man. And I can remember some dudes went to tear him off, man. They went to try to rob him, man, and it was a big old thing. He was acting like he was gonna stand up. He had, copped him a little piece of steel. He got a little Bethlehem, and he acting like ain't nobody gonna take his stuff and blah blah blah. Man, you can't flash it, man. It's just like on the street. You can't have a gun and don't be ready to use it when the trouble comes. It's gonna come a time. You know what I'm saying? T.I. got a line in one of his songs, did always stuck in my head. He said, you got to prepare for the gunplay because you will encounter it one day, depending on what you into. So when you in the penitentiary, you got to prepare for that Bethlehem play because you will encounter it one day. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you into selling drugs, if you into running the store box, if you into gambling, if you into doing anything in the penitentiary that's outside of just being drugged by the administration, if you try to make your own hustle, if you try to make your own way, oh, you gonna encounter that Bethlehem one day. You gonna encounter some drama. It's just automatic. It's automatic, man. It's a rite of passage in the penitentiary. You gonna go through some drama, a lot of drama, but you gonna go through some physical drama as well. If you there long enough, you know what I'm saying, and the way you carry yourself in the things that you into. So by him coming in the penitentiary and wanting to be, you know, make money in there and still be the drug boy, then you gonna have to be willing to put that work in. And he had too many trepidations about that. So he walking around acting like he got the joint. And I can remember him standing over there up under the stairway and you know, doing all of this movement and stuff and acting like he giving the impression like he got the joke because he done already got the word. The dude's trying to come get that money. You know what I'm saying? And he like, man, I ain't worried about nothing. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, well, you was absolutely wrong. Cause yeah, about 2-3 of them, man, they ran down on him right there as if he ain't had nothing or as he was just pump faking. And he pulled out and act like, man, they just got the boot bopping and hitting him and I'm poking at him and he's scared and he trying to run. He back up in the corner, man. They get him down on the ground, man, and just pump him. Bang, 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 boom, boom. Put the feet on him, stomp him and everything. Take his chains off, take his ring off, take all his stuff. Straight like that, right in the middle of the block. You know, but they under the stairway, but it's right in the middle of the block. But they got somebody watching the booth and everything. So somebody watching the booth, trying to get somebody on the other side to get the attention of the person in the booth, which would draw them to the other side, and they can't see what's going on over here. And these things ain't gonna last but a couple of minutes. Boom, 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 and it's over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they get him, man. They get him for his jewelry. They get him for his rings and stuff. And you know, he get a couple of nicks and bruises and bumps, but he don't check in. You know what I'm saying? He don't go to jail. He don't get, you know, like check out. Like, you know, I guess he was trying to hold his pride, trying to show that he really wasn't scared. But, you know, it's 3-on-1 and, you know, wah. But he stopped getting the sack. You know what I'm saying? He stopped getting it. So that showed even more fear. So now dudes is trying to extort him. Dudes is trying to put more pressure on him. Man, you got to get that, man. Or woo, woo, woo. Because now they done seen that you done took a couple of blows and took a little few nicks and scrape, and you ain't do nothing about it. You ain't go get revenge. You know, you got to get revenge. You got to put somebody in the dirt, man. It's sad, but it's true. You got to put somebody in the dirt or put them close to it, put them in somebody's hospital, you know, put them on somebody's gurney. You got to do that, man, to keep the wolves off of you. That's just the way it goes in the penitentiary. And he couldn't comprehend that. He had all this size and had all of these outlets and avenues to make things happen, but you ain't had a heart to protect that stuff. You see what I'm saying? But the funny thing about the penitentiary is, man, some dudes, you know, a lot of them don't, but some of them do, man. They learn the philosophy of the penitentiary. They take their bumps and the bruises and they start analyzing things and they start looking at situations and they start realizing, man, that, you know, you got to put together a survival plan in here. You got to. If you don't, man, it's going to be more miserable than it is normal miserable. So, I mean, I don't know what you know what I'm saying, happened to him, what caused the transformation, because I ended up getting away from him. I think he ended up getting moved, and I ain't seen him for some years, man. I mean, some years. And I had started hearing his name. I heard his name in passing a couple of times. But when I heard his name was the same, the description was the same, but like his physical makeup, but his actions weren't the same. Dudes was saying that, oh no, not that. The eyes, I know you saw the big dude, real big dude with the green eyes, and I'm like, yeah, oh no, man, that dude, yeah, he ain't scared, man. He ain't saw. I'm like, man, I seen the dude. You know what I'm saying? They were like, no, man, when was that? So I say when it was, but this is like I say, this is over a decade and something later. And they were like, man, shoot, hey, that man be lifting weights every day, man. I said, man, that dude chubby. He said, nah, he ain't. Nah, he ain't. I said, man, that dude big as I don't know what, man. That dude almost 300 pounds. I said, man, yeah, he about 250. They said, nah, man, that dude like 300. He big, man, arms big, man. He big, man. He said, yeah, he from such. Yeah, I said, he be getting the drugs. Yeah. And he be getting at them women, man. He be having them CO females, man. You know what I'm saying? I say, hold up. And he said, oh, no, that's his homeboy down there. I'm going to get you a picture. I'm going to show you a picture, see if it's the same dude. So they got, you know, prison pictures. Man, they showed me the picture of the dude, and it's him, but he don't look the same. He done been on that weight pile. He done put some work in. And man, now they say, man, I was aggressive. Yeah, my boy was aggressive, man. You know, they say, yeah, he pulling up on dudes, and he done, you know, put hands on a couple of dudes, and yeah, so he done turned the thing around, man. He done went from, you know, having fear, man, to being feared, you know. So that was crazy, but I've seen it. I've seen it before. By that time, I had seen it before, you know. But in my mind, I'm always with the impression that your first impression is your best impression. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you can grow hot. I don't feel like you can, you know, I feel like you can portray that, you know, but I feel like the initial you that you present yourself as, then I know, you know what I'm saying? And I know dudes that got like that, they done been on the weight pile and got all big, and then their whole personality, their whole attitude changed when now they're aggressive, and now dudes are scared of the size. You know what I'm saying? And those dudes usually, most of the ones that I know, they still ain't coming like that. You know what I'm saying? They will bark like that and be loud like that and intimidating like that. But when it come down to the nitty gritty, they ain't really shaking out like that. But he was telling me, you know, the eyes was, you know, putting pressure on dudes, and man, dudes, you know what I'm saying? He was running down on dudes, and, you know, he got his swagger back, you know, he back when, you know, little jewelry, because even when they took the jewelry, dudes still was, you know, they'll smuggle jewelry in and they'll wear it when they want it. You know, it all depends on the police that you around, whether they want to be hating and come try to get it or shake it down, so you got to send that home or whatever, right? But also, he said eyes was getting at them girls, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I say he a big old light-skinned dude with green eyes. Then he got muscles. So the female COs was rocking with him, or, you know, was falling into his little thing. Now, I can't confirm or deny, but I'm gonna tell you right now, is public opinion, man. A lot of people say it. So, you know, man, they said eyes got about 4 kids by 4 different CO women, man. They say eyes got about 4 kids by 4 different CO women. They say he was on one joint, I think it was Lawrenceville. They said, man, he was on there. He had females, two female COs pregnant at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They ready to rumble and work over him and everything, man. So obviously he done got his swagger up, you know what I'm saying, from when I first met him. So then later on down the line, I run into him. We end up on the same camp together, right? And I see him, and, you know, chop it up. And he is big. He huge. You know what I'm saying? He huge. He well over 300, probably about 310, 315 or something like that. But he's stocking now. He on the weight pile. He outside every day that we got wrecked. He out there. He doing pull-ups. He doing push-ups. And there ain't no weights on Sussex. It's just all, you know, bar work or whatever. So yeah, he done put some work in for sure, you know what I'm saying? And I can see in his speech, I can see in his swagger, I can see in his attitude that he, you know, he feel like he a different dude, like he ain't scared and, you know what I'm saying, woo. So, but I can remember him, you know, being that timid dude and woo. And, but then I remember I ran into another dude. I ran into this other dude that I knew named Rome. So Rome was telling me that he was on Power Tan with her. And it was when I had just left. So Rome was there, and Rome said that he came up there, and Rome said that, you know, Eyes was He owed Ass some money because Rome one of them. He one of them flam artists in the school that he pull all of that. He won't get high. He'll take chances with his life. He'll try, but he ain't no sucker. He'll do something and push come to shove. So he said he owed the dude some money because he had the same thing. He heard dude ain't built like that. Woo woo woo. So Rome gonna test that. He gonna try you. So Rome said he got some stuff from him with no intentions on paying him back. But he said the dude kept pressing him. He screamed on, man, he keep on pulling up on me. I ain't got it, man. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So he said, dude, bark back, say, well, you shouldn't have got it from me then. I want my stuff. Woo, woo, woo. So Rome like, man, you better back up. Like he was going pull that Bethlehem out. He said, dude, reach for his. You know what I'm saying? So Ron, I said, go ahead. So Ron telling me the story. I'm like, yeah. He said, man, then, he said, I ain't, really had nothing. I was pump faking. He said, but dude, reach for his joint. So I don't know if he was pump faking, but I was. So he said, man, I bagged up. He said, then the dude came to me. He said, next thing you know, he just walking behind me. I'm walking. He just followed me. I'm telling him to go ahead. He's like, no, you gonna get my money. You gonna get my money. So, man, this man decided chasing Rome all around the block, man. They going from tier to tier. They hollering at each other. And, come on, man. Y'all. Nah. So, Rome said he didn't know what was going on. So, Rome said he had to go cop the real Joe. He copped the real Bethlehem, and he ready to get at him, but he gonna try to sneak him. He said, I'm going to sneak him, man. I said, you ain't going to sneak me? But like, man, I ain't running up on that joker, man. That joker big as I don't know what. And Rome ain't number like about 5'5", right? So Rome was like, man, that man big as I don't know what, man. He said, then when I was going around the tier, and I was up on the tier and stuff, he on one side, he keep trying to come around, I'll go around the other way. He said, I thought about it, I said, man, let me get back on flat ground, man. This man catch me and throw me over the tier, man, big as he is. So, yeah, man. So he like I said, obviously he had turned this whole persona around, man, and was doing his thing in the penitentiary. He was surviving, from shaky beginning, you know what I'm saying? And that don't happen to a lot of people, man. You usually finish how you start, you know what I'm saying? But obviously he turned it around, man, got on that weight pal, man, and I guess that built up his confidence, and you got all this size and all this bulk with you, it ain't no good to you if you ain't gonna use it, so obviously he got his little swag back, man. But we had a couple of conversations, man. We was on such. I asked him about the females too. I said, man, I heard you got these babies in there. He said, yeah. He said, I got a few of them, you know what I'm saying? And he was currently seeing a girl that had quit her job and was coming up there to see him. You know what I'm saying? So, he was good with the girls, man, and, for whatever reason. And, yeah, but he turned the whole situation around for him, man, because he was, I seen him get advantage took. This ain't what somebody told him. I was in the block, you know what I'm saying? And he did not straighten that situation, you know what I'm saying? So, like I say, usually it's a hard thing to do is to overcome, a bad reputation that can be, vouched for. That can be, man, look, yeah, this facts. Because people gonna say anything about you. You know what I'm saying, when you ain't around. But if somebody can't confirm it or it ain't, solidified, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you take it with a grain of salt because we in penitentiary, everybody running their mouth. But when people know this for a fact that you let somebody take something from you, man, that's usually a hard thing to overcome, man, because now you just gonna have problems after problems after problems because everybody in there scheming, everybody in there plotting, everybody in there trying to come up, everybody in there trying to get what they need. So if they know you a Vic, you a Mark, and you to let somebody take something from you, and then you still keep having things and you keep getting things, they coming to get it. They coming to get it, by way of creeping or by way of just strong arming, coming up on you with the Bethlehem, or by way of just, couple of dudes, they jump you or they run up in the cell, take your commissary, all of that. They coming if they think they can get away with it, or if they think they're going to have the less road to resistance with you. They going to try you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how big you is. You know what I'm saying? No matter what color you are. If they think they can take you, they gonna try to take you, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in there gotta eat. and them dudes that set up in themselves at night, man, with nothing in that commissary box, nothing in their locker, and smelling that food from the microwave, and hearing dudes laughing and hollering about the football game, and man, hearing them tater chip bag crunching, and man, dudes be hungry, man. They'll bust a move. they'll bust a move, man, straight up, because you got dudes in there this week, and they go to commissary, man. Dudes walk right in their cell and go right to the locker, man, and take stuff up out there, walk on about there, whether they worried about you seeing them or not. Yeah, straight like that. Because they gonna put you in a position you got to do something. So if it's known that you ain't gonna do nothing, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But yeah, Ass came up out of that joke though, man. He shook that up off of him, man. Last time I seen him, man, he looked like a big old light-skinned silverback, man. He was big as I don't know what. He was barking on dudes on there. He was still doing his thing. He was barking on dudes. Man, you better get that money. Yeah, you better get it. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say that. I'm like, you know, because like I say, I seen the transformation. You know what I'm saying? I seen the transformation. I seen the beginning. I seen him there. So, you know, decades in prison, man, had, you know, hardened him. And like I say, prison gonna change you one way or another. One way or another, man. And I guess for him, it worked out for him because, you know, he a different dude now. And I don't think he has nowhere near the amount of problems he had when I first met him, you know, because like I say, the intimidation factor alone is going to keep dudes at bay. And now he done put muscles to that. And now he done put it, you know, he barking to that. Now he done, you know, did a little this and that and had a couple of scuffles, so he got a little reputation behind him. So dudes going to proceed with caution now, you know, whereas at first, they just, hey, man, he's soft as cotton candy, man. You know what I'm saying? And they want to take everything you got, man. So, you know, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Eyes, man, for turning it around, man, doing his thing, surviving in prison, man. It's not the easiest thing to do for nobody, especially for decades. You know what I'm saying? To the best of my knowledge, I heard he was out there, though. You know, I don't know. You know, if he is and he see this, man, holler at your boy, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to give y'all that, man, something real quick that was on my mind, on my brain. You know, how, you know, like I say, it's not normal, but it can happen, man. You can come into prison, man, and you can be, you know, scared and all of that, because it ain't nobody coming in prison. First of all, it's not scared. They lying if they say, unless they coming back for the third, fourth time and they know what the count is. But other than that, you gonna have some fear in you when you coming up in there. But it's hard for somebody to come in there and have that fear in them and then have things happen to them and they don't respond the way they're supposed to respond and then be able to overcome that. It's hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, once that happens, you just gonna have more and more and more and more and more. So if you ain't got the endurance, if you ain't got the, you know, the resolve to deal with each and every one of them problems after the initial one and handle them accordingly, then it's just gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he obviously he did it, man, because like I say, by the time I ran into him again, he had a little respect on his name, man, and you gotta give him credit for that, man. So, you know, like I say, man, there's a blessing in every lesson, man. And the blessing is he didn't succumb to being a victim or victimized for his entire bit, which a lot of people do. A lot of people do, because they can't muster up that courage to say, man, I'm a fight, man, win, lose, or draw. But I ain't gonna be taken advantage of. I ain't gonna be, you know, robbed. I ain't gonna be, I'm just gonna go. And a lot of dudes ain't got that in them to do that, man. So, you know, that's the blessing, man, that he didn't become you know, a victim for the rest of his bit. And you know, to the best of my knowledge, he got out of prison, man, so he was able to see the streets again, which is the ultimate goal. And because you can do something in prison, even protecting your life, that can cause you never to see that street again. So that's a hard, you know, thing to navigate right there. But you gotta protect self. Self-preservation is the #1 law, man. If you don't protect yourself, man, you may end up coming back out, but you may not come back out like you went in, you know. So anyway, man, hopefully y'all get something out of this video. Hopefully y'all share this video. Hopefully y'all hit me in the comments. Talk to me. Y'all know Banky talks back. And please subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Hit that button, man. Take a moment. Please, I'm asking you to check your status, because they say a lot of people watching, but a lot of people ain't pushing that button. So please take your time to check, see what your status is. If you ain't subscribed, I ain't mad at you, but I'm asking you to go ahead and hit that button. Boom, boom. Hit it for me one time, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. I see y'all in 24 hours, man. We out here, man. Be safe and duck them hooks. Boom, 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 boom. TBP, y'all know we ain't scared of nothing. Boom. Really more.
coming out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.